Heavy military traffic still on the streets of eastern Mosul, but the city is slowly coming back to life. Shops are reopening and supplies getting through. Although work is still scarce, there's a basic normality that has returned after months of bitter fighting. For those displaced by fighting in the West, however, that is a distant dream. And while the race is on to provide immediate relief, finding long-term solutions for Mosul will be important too.
We don't have the international solidarity that is needed for the conditions to be provided for these people to be humane, and at the same time to create the conditions for a reconciliation within the communities and the reconciliation at national level as soon as Mosul is fully liberated.
The scars exposed by ISIL will be open for long after they themselves are forced out of the city. There are still very visible signs of ISIL's occupation of East Mosul on this side of the river. People are back on the streets and life has returned to some level of normality. But just down the road here, across the Tigris River, you can see huge plumes of smoke and hear the sound of automatic gunfire. The damage in the west is undoubtedly worse. This is where ISIL dug in for their last stand. On one of our trips to the front line, we met Makeen, now living in the UK, but a former resident of Mosul for 10 years. He's spent months embedded with the Iraqi security forces and has seen the toll it's exacted on the city he loves.
When the ISIS finish, I hope the ISIS is going to finish when the Iraqi armies are going to take over, and then I hope it's going to back to normal, same before. We hope just ISIS destroyed our country.
But despite the destruction, he thinks Iraqis could find some common ground rather than sectarian division when they finally return.
I'm a Sunni. I got a lot of friends like a Shia with the army. I've been doing fixing like for 5 months, and then they respect me a lot. We've seen a lot of good things about the Shias.
At the moment, however, thoughts of a Mosul without ISIL is premature. Their fighters have a well-formulated defense, and any ground they surrender is often completely destroyed. Tony Cheng, CGTN, Mosul, Northern Iraq.